So I've seen you play in tournaments, Mark. I see you earned some medals. Some of them from Big Dog, some from Bola. I see a Riverland up there, paddle tap. Um, what would be some advice that you'd give somebody new, let's say, playing in their first tournament?
That's a great question. For me, whether if it's a tournament, a league, or going out and playing against higher caliber players, I get just as nervous, right? Because you want to step up and perform. But the first thing for me is to get very centered, and I'm very big in spirituality and meditation and breath work. But what that does for me is it keeps me grounded, because the game is not going to be won in 1 point. And I've been in tournaments where I get so amped up and I get down 3-0, 4-0, and you might as well just end the game right then and there, right? So it's trust your game. You're playing in a tournament because you have confidence in your game, right? Continue that confidence no matter what the score is. And the most important thing is don't lose sight of the fact of being there and having fun.
That's great advice for sure. I've been down 9-0 in a game and still won, or vice versa. I've been up 9-0 and lost the game. So you never know what can happen.
Yeah.
Take it 1 point at a time.
Just
a
go
really good, sound advice for somebody
as cheesy as it sounds, right? It's funny, right? We hear all these sayings, and I heard one time on a recording was sayings are there for a reason. So at some point, it was pretty like moving, whatever was said. Take 1 point at a time. Breathe in, breathe out. They weren't just like randomly thrown out there. It was when they were coined, it was a time that it made a big impact on people. So for me, I don't lose sight of that.
Yeah, I think our friend Sherry says it best, and she goes like, when something's going wrong at court, she'll go Goldfish.
Yeah,
and just kind of like forget what's happened already and just reset. The point's over and we start over.
So what's funny about that, right? So I've had the good fortune to play with Sherry in a tournament. Sherry was also, for the most part, last season at the 3-5 league, my partner for the whole entire year. And when I would get myself out of the moment, not being present, right? Because I am human, she would do that, right? She'd be like, "Go fish," right? Yep. And to forget about that, because I would want to not make any mistakes, and it's so true.
What would you think separates a good player from a great player?
Consistency. Just consistency. And how do you get consistent is drilling. I think a good player will play several times a week. I think a great player will drill just as much as they play, because, if you think about it, there's a certain shot that we're like, oh, I always miss that. That's my weak point, right? And well, in a game, you might only hit that shot 2 or 3 times, but that could be a pivotal time where you don't get that point, where somebody who's great is constantly working on the two-handed backhand, right? Or somebody who's working on a shot in transition, right? You drill in transition for half an hour. So you play against somebody and they're keeping you back and you try to get up and there's shots in transition, right? You're not overreacting. You're hitting it just like you would a forehand, just like you would a lob, whatever your strongest shot is, right? That's what makes a great player, is that they are drilling. And I know drilling sometimes for some people is like, my God, that's boring. But if you want to be great, that's what the great ones do.